Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are back with our friend Jacob Graves. It's been a few weeks hiatus, so glad you're okay. Welcome back to the show and happy to have you here. Would you mind introducing yourself to everyone today?
Yes, my name is Jacob Graves. I actually changed the name of my business. It's now Ascendant Mastery. It's not no longer Visions of Self Mastery.
Perfect. And how can we reach
Mhm.
out to you?
Well, I am like I told you last time, I'm no longer on social media anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But my phone number is 502-871-1038. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me through there or through email. My email is still my business email is still BOSM capitalized 835 Gmail or excuse me, outlook.com. And you're more than welcome to email me on my website, which I'm currently having redesigned. Someone's helping me to build a new website right now. So
Is it still
here in a couple weeks,
blessedwithdysfunction.com or has that changed?
yes. No, that has not changed. Yes.
Okay, good. So,
Yes.
for those that may not know you or what you do, explain it to us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you're here to talk about today.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to kind of focus on today. I wanted to talk to you guys a lot about, a lot about me because I feel like that I have told you guys a lot about me, but it's still a little bit surface level. There's not been much substance to it. So I want to
I
kind of tell you
disagree. I
guys.
disagree, but it's good to go deeper for sure.
So my whole thing today is I want to really just, I guess, shed some light on where the world is at right now and a little bit of where I'm at. So I believe we're truly living in a very lonely time right now. We're all isolated. We're all so divided right now. And loneliness is can be very, very detrimental to somebody's health. It can actually cause you to develop premature dementia. It can cause very anxiety. It can lead to a stroke. So it can cause very, very deep depression. So there's just all kinds of things. Loneliness is something that I actually struggle with myself, and I really just want to help build a community, of
Yeah.
people that may feel alone or that like they may not feel good enough for the world or for their career or just feel comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
Um, So I really want to just reach out to those people right now and just ask that you guys know that you're not alone and that all you have to do is just reach out to somebody and find your community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to build that community. So I was actually going over some of my notes the other day in my book and I was reading and I came across two things. Those two things made me realize why some of the aspects of my life have went the way they have. Um, One quote that I wrote down in my book was, "Do not give in to the idea of weakness or defeat. Through acceptance, you give your permission as well as a time and a place for those events/situations to live. And the life you live depends on um, the life you live depends on your ability to manifest and your understanding of the laws of attraction."
Mm-hmm.
So, in context to my personal life, I want to go back to a little bit when I was a child. So, when I was little, probably around 9, 10 years old, I started to really realize that I was pretty different. Um, just hearing other kids talk about how they felt or how their lives were, it made me realize that I did not think the same way. That
Mm-hmm.
I saw life almost very it was very beautiful to me, but it was so just different. It was so vivid and euphoric and I just saw so much energy and just so much love and the potential for humans. I feel like I've always known that humans are just scraping by on their potential. And so I don't know. I've really just always felt a little different. I don't think I've really ever felt comfortable in my own skin. And I think that's kind of always led me to think that something is, wrong with me. So my whole life I've pretty much been searching for that. What is going on with me? What's making me feel this way? I've studied some of the deepest sciences in the world, some of a lot of medicine. I've studied chemistry, I've studied biology, I've studied physiology, anatomy, neurology, psychology. I mean, all kinds of alternative medicine practices, and just to literally figure out how I can help people, and two, I always knew that in order for me to do what I want to do in life and help all these people, that I had to help myself first. So I used to think that I was selfish for, not really hanging out with my friends or the people I love because I was too engulfed in my work. But over the course of my life, I realized that, you're doing all this work for other people. You're doing it
Mm-hmm.
right now for yourself, but it's so you can help other people in the future. So I don't know. I really just want to I don't excuse me, I'm sorry. Um
Okay.
I I'm so sorry.
Nothing to be sour about. You talk when you're ready and say what you feel. We're here, we're listening. It's all good.
So back to what I was saying. Okay, so um I just realized that no matter what you go through, because sometimes I feel like I don't belong in what I do. I feel like I struggle with depression a little bit. And I have for a long time. But something that I really like about myself that I always have held on to pretty strongly is the fact that ever since I was little, I've always seen my weaknesses. I've always seen where I struggled, but I really
Mhm.
embraced that. And I really tried to grab on to my weaknesses and develop them because I see that's a really good premise to to come from to,
Mhm.
lead with your strengths, but also work on your weaknesses as well. Um, 'Cause I feel like that's the best way to possibly build yourself up. But something I also did was I tried to physically break myself down so
Mm.
that no one else could hurt me because I was so scared that, people were just going to absolutely just either leave me or just really just, I don't know, try to hurt me. So it's like I tried to hurt myself so nobody else could. Um, and something else I wanted to mention was kind of like how I was saying earlier before I got a little lost. um, I I used to tell myself that, things were wrong with me and that there was something about me that wasn't always right. And I learned over the weekend, over this past week, that I needed to change my story. I need to change how I talk to myself, and I need to tell myself that, I'm perfectly fine in my own skin, and I am who I am, and I just need to find comfort in that. And I think I'm beginning to. I think I'm beginning to realize that,
Mm.
the story I've told myself all these years isn't necessarily true. So I'm really trying to redefine myself and who I am, and just I'm trying to embrace myself and to, I guess, combat some of the things I deal with love. I'm really I'm really trying to be more loving towards myself because that's one thing. I'm a really, really nice person and I would absolutely do anything for anybody. But when it comes to myself, I'm not the nicest. I'm pretty hard on myself. All my family and all my friends tell me that, you don't need to be so hard on yourself, Jacob. And I'm like, well, yeah, I do, because if nobody else is going to be hard on me, then,
Oh,
you
mhm.
know, I have to be. So I just but I also realized that that's not necessarily the case. If I go at myself and my mentality with love and with acceptance and with gratitude for who I am, I've already seen the difference in the way that my mind handles that. And it's almost like I can be having like a negative thought or a sad thought or something like that. But if I say, you're safe right now, you're good, and that everything's gonna be fine, then it's kind of like everything just quietens down and it makes me feel safe actually. Like it's like I just have to reaffirm to myself and tell myself where I'm at. Um, and I've already noticed that I don't have to do it as often. So, and I've really just been doing this for probably a couple of days now, really maybe like 4 days. Um, so I think that's a really powerful thing to do is just to come at yourself, not come at yourself, but approach yourself,
Yeah.
approach your mentality, approach your problems with love and gratitude. Gratitude alone has the most highest uh, s- the the highest emotional signature possible. So it is a very powerful emotion. And I would just really like to tell people that to just practice gratitude, just practice being thankful for where you're at because that's also a part of manifestation is, appreciating what you already have and
Yeah.
appreciating where you're already at and not just looking at the world and saying gimme, gimme, gimme because I believe the world is a mirror of our mind. So literally it's kind of like if you're just saying gimme, gimme, gimme to the universe is going to reflect that right back to you and say gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah.
So you pretty much have to just be thankful for what you have right now and where you're at. And kind of like how like my website is called Blessed with Dysfunction. I am blessed with dysfunction and I really like to own that because the whole meaning behind Blessed with Dysfunction, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this before, but it's really no one's perfect. We're not supposed to be. We shouldn't search for perfection. We're all unique. We're all very bio individual, and we should really just I don't thrive in it. Thrive in our existence. Thrive in your awareness. That's a very powerful thing to do. Is to really just be like, okay, I know I'm right here, right now, but I do see how this could benefit me in the future. And I do see the importance of me going through this right now. And it's also, I feel like a good thing to really just slow down a little bit and, appreciate where you're at right now. My grandmother asked me one time, and I'll never forget this. She texted me one day and she was just like, why don't, why don't the people why do we forget the good things before the bad things?
Mm.
And it took me a minute to text back, but I automatically knew what I wanted to say. It just took me a minute to be able to say it. But it was pretty much along the premise of people don't pay attention to the good things as much. We go unconsciously because we're enjoying them. We're caught up in our emotions and we don't take the time to slow down and really appreciate where we're at and appreciate how good things are. We're just caught up in the moment, caught up in the glitter and the glamour of life. And to make the conscious decision to, slow down in the moment and be like, okay, well, this is really nice right now. This feels really good. Like I'm relaxed. I am happy. It's just a really beautiful moment. And that's quite hard for some people, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm I still notice that I go quite unconscious sometimes, so it's still something that I struggle with, even though I'm very aware and I actually try to practice that, but I still realize that I even need to slow down more in the moment, so I'm not trying to put anybody down for that. I believe it's a part of human nature to try to break the veil of our consciousness and to really be in the moment, so
Yeah. Oh, I'm just listening to you. I love it. I miss talking to you. You have a
I
lot to
know it.
say, and it's important to be heard. And I love that you're just here putting everything on the table, as always, open and honest. And, we all go through struggles in life. Nobody has a perfect life. And you can empathize with so many people. And, you're
Yeah.
very vulnerable. And I love that you're able to speak how even, you're um, get depressed at times, get down at times. I think we all do.
Oh
And
yeah.
that makes it so much better to know that we're not alone, not
Mhm.
alone. Right?
Yeah. Someone asked me this morning what I was going to talk about on my podcast, and I told them, I'm pretty much just going to strip myself down. Like it's what I seem to be pretty good at, and I really respect where they came from. I really do, and it meant a lot. But they almost didn't want me to do what I was going to do because they were worried about me because they they understand what could potentially happen. People could try to make fun of me or put me down for the way I
Yep.
feel, but that's the thing is like
Oh, well,
it
screw
doesn't
them
bother
and
me.
play. Now, you
Yeah.
know what? Because they're hiding behind their own selves, and they're not willing to open themselves up. So if they're so first and so fast to judge and criticize,
Yeah,
here what's right. So
exactly. And
yeah.
like I was telling them, the people in my community, the people in my corner are going to be like, "You know what? Don't listen to them.
Yep.
You are who you are and you're doing an amazing job and you're still trying to help people." So it's like, I don't know, that just those people that think badly about the people that make themselves vulnerable and that try to really just lend a helping hand to anybody, even if they themselves struggle in the same ways. It's like I believe that's very selfless and that shows a lot of strength. So I just think it's important to make yourself vulnerable. It's really how you connect with people. And I've learned a lot about connection and I believe it's a really beautiful thing.
Yep.
So something I've actually learned that I liked was our brains are pretty much trying to it's like they're designed to recreate the broken connection with our guardians, with the people that
Mm-hmm.
raised us. So we're always trying to find a connection that resembles the I don't know, the connection we have with our parents or like I said, our guardians. And I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was very interesting.
So for those people out there listening today, that you're opening up, and even though there's some naysayers out there, forget it. No, not listening to you today because you're just taking away our energy and draining us,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. And we don't have
Mm-hmm.
time for that. We've got important things to do. We've got lives to live. We've got people to inspire. We don't have time for that. So we
Good.
just um yeah, I just something important that I've realized, I believe is just to believe in yourself. Try not to be like everybody else. Don't doubt yourself because at the end of the day, we all only have ourselves and and our higher power.
Yep.
So I believe that we should really all just do what it takes to believe in ourselves and be on our own team. Don't try not to put yourself down and to try to lift yourself up in those times of stress or when you're not feeling the best. Try to just empower yourself through it. I believe there's a lot of utility in that, and really just sometimes making yourself vulnerable and showing somebody and talking to somebody and connecting with somebody, that can make you feel so much better. And it
Yep.
can really do a lot of deep healing. And a lot of you process things a lot when you talk about it. I know I process as I talk, especially about, like my emotions or something like that. Um, so I just think we all shouldn't be so divided. We all shouldn't be so and I know that with with the pandemic and everything, we're very isolated right now and we have been for a while, but um I just feel like we all need to just I don't know, maybe just appreciate who our human nature a little bit more and really just see how beautiful of the lives we live. I mean, our everything about life is just so utterly beautiful and that's what drives me the most is just seeing how far I can take this thing, because ultimately I'm a I used to be a really scary person. I really did. And like when I first started doing these podcasts, for example, like I'm not the best at communication. Sometimes I don't think I am at least. But this is something that was one of those things that I made myself do because for one, I wanted to. I've always wanted to be on a podcast. And then two, I knew that it was going to be a part of my healing process, me
Mm-hmm.
coming on and facing my fear of communication and really just doing it, no matter what it takes, just doing it. Um, so just believe in yourselves and just try to just really just try to believe in yourselves and just approach yourself with love. I think that's so I know I keep repeating that, but I really I think it's so important. And I believe that when we deal with ourselves with these ill emotions and we come at ourselves with negative patterns and get into negative cycles, that can just I personally know how bad that can be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've experienced a lot of trauma in my life. I've lost a lot of people. I don't like to say lost because even though they've moved on, passed on, I still feel so connected to them. So I believe in my heart that they are still with me. But I have like we've talked about before, I've gotten into a car wreck that really messed me up for a while. I've lost 8 people in 4 years, so it was like 2 people a year. Um, and my heart really just never had time to heal. My brain never had time to heal and process things. And what I'm learning to understand now is that that trauma actually made me very sick because I did not deal with it the right way, along with me already thinking something was wrong with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think I made myself pretty sick by not handling the stress properly and running from it, running from my emotions and trying to numb them, trying to escape them. That was very painful for me, and I still deal with that pain to some degree, you know? Sometimes my shoulder will swell, like my shoulder blade, and it looks like there's an eggplant in it. It
Oh
is
my gosh.
absolutely insane. And no doctor has ever been able to figure out why, to be honest. And
Wow.
I I've began to realize that no doctor ever will. And it's because I don't think they're supposed to at this point in our life at least. I believe I somewhat have a it's just trauma, to be honest. It's unresolved emotion that I deal with that
Yeah.
manifests as physical pain because I mean there's just so much of my life ever since I was young that I've just been uncomfortable. I've been stressed out and I've been sad and depressed and dealing with all this loss and this grief and just all these really, really hard emotions. And I mean, I turned to drugs and alcohol and just to numb myself, just to escape. And
Mm-hmm.
I got sober when I was 19. And then a little bit after I got sober, really just felt like my mind fell off a cliff, you know? I used to be able to communicate so well. Like people used to actually like compliment me on how well I could talk and how well I could hold on to subjects and bring them back and lace them back into the conversation later. But after that, it was like when I was 21, 22 years old, I was convinced I had dementia.
Wow.
Literally, I was convinced I had dementia. I thought I had Parkinson's.
Mm.
Um, because, you know, I would shake so bad. It was like my spine would shake. My my memory was just not good at all. I really it took a lot out of me and I feel like I forgot a lot of my growing up, my past. And that really hurt me because no matter how much pain I went through, no matter how much grief I've experienced, my life has been so beautiful, and I will always, always be thankful for everything that has happened. I will never want it to change
Mm-hmm.
because it's taught me so much, and ultimately, it's made me who I am today. And I'm very grateful for who I am today. I'm very thankful. And I really do. I struggle with self worth and my self image sometimes, but I do love myself very much because I realize I've been in a lot of pain my whole life, but I've not my whole life, but for at least a couple years now. Um, and I just I don't know. I'm sorry. I kind of forgot where I was going with that, but ultimately, what I was saying was I would never want anything to change. That I just it's the pain has really made me who I am,
Yep.
and I think it's so beautiful, and I've never I've never stopped. I've never let all the fear and the pain get to me too much to the point where I
Yeah.
just curl up in my bed and don't do anything. I feel like for for my state that I have done a lot. I've written a book. I have taken pretty good care of myself. I am becoming a coach and I'm still trying to help other people.
Yeah.
I've studied a lot. I've taught myself a lot. So it's like I never gave up. And that's something I really want to just tell you guys is for one, be careful what you tell yourself about yourself because like I said earlier, I believe the story I told myself all these years didn't really align with who I am and it
Yeah.
caused me detriment to my health, to my life, and I believe it kept me stuck. Um,
And
So,
now you're helping people become unstuck, right?
yes, as I teach myself, I teach you guys. So, I really just want to let you guys know that, no one's perfect and we're not supposed to be. So, just embrace who you are, love who you are, and just keep going. Don't ever stop.
And if someone wants to reach out to you, let's explain the process. How does it work?
So you guys can email me at VOSM835 at outlook.com. There's always a message button or a contact me button on my website where you guys can email me through my website. And I really do urge you guys to reach out to me. Um, I would love to help anybody that doesn't feel like they have a place in this life or they may feel uncomfortable.
Mm.
Honestly, I would love to help you guys with anything. And I know that I may not be able to fully help with everything, but I hope to at least be able to point you in the right direction, or just be someone that you guys can talk to every now and again. If that's what you need, then please know that I am here for you and that I would absolutely love just to talk to you guys
And how
about
can we reach out to you?
um just any possible way. Like there's you guys can email me, you guys can call me um through my website.
And it's blessed with dysfunction.com.
Yes, I'm so sorry. So
That's
sorry
okay.
about
No, no, no. Just
that.
making sure. I know. And the new name of the company is one more time.
Ascendant Mastery.
Perfect. And
Yes.
anything you want to leave for us today in particular?
Um, so there was something I was thinking about um leaving with you guys, and it's just oops. Just some things to do that may help develop clarity, excuse me. Um, build good habits, create habits that are not immediately satisfying, but focus on bringing the future into the present moment so that you can enjoy the things that are good for you, but that can be difficult to maintain. Put in the reps. Just know it, just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself. Condition your being in all aspects to strengthen the ability to maintain awareness and stability, mental, physical, and spiritual, during unexpected events or uncomfortable situations. Exercise and read. Have a plan. Implement a time and a place for your tasks and dreams to live inside your schedule. Identify and cut unhealthy habits. Reduce exposure to triggers. Minimalize social cues. Develop expertise in something you care about. Design your environment to stimulate your mind and trigger motivational/inspirational thinking. Identify and adopt the identity you desire. Analyze yourself now and who you want to be in the future. Think in first principles and think about what it would take to become someone who lives that lifestyle and then do it.
Mm.
Become systems oriented. Reduce narrow and one sided goal chasing. Think systematically. Master the process of your goals instead of focusing on the actual goal. Good systems drive results.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jacob Graves, for opening up to us, joining us today. And to all of our listeners, we appreciate you. And thank you for opening up today, even more than you do, and doing what you do. And just remember, everyone out there, you're all good enough. We are all good enough. We all deserve to be happy and treat other people with kindness and keep the positivity alive. Thank you so much, Jacob. You have a great day. And to all of our
Thank you.
listeners, same here. Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.